patterns that we see at Kilmacduagh, we also see at Ferns. And I'll come back to these broad patterns in a moment, but just first to look at the kind of results of Ferns. And now, Neil has already shown you some of the results. But I suppose so like Kilmacduagh, Ferns is the site of an early monastery, which in this case is said to be founded in the late 6th century, and it's a place that's also associated with the Augustinians from the medieval period. The long history of activity at Ferns is indicated by a number of buildings and other features that can still be seen today. So we have, for instance, obviously St. Enda's Church of Ireland, built in the early 1800s, but it probably lies at the core of the early monastery, just to the north of the cemetery. There's no evidence for an early monastic boundary. There are the remains of 3 plain granite line crosses, as well as the base of the fort decorated example in the church grounds. There's also a cross slab, as well as the remains of the 13th century cathedral. And of course then we have the Augustinian Abbey of St. Mary's, which was built in the mid-12th century. So here's a closer view of the Abbey. You can see obviously its distinctive round tower on the west, and there's nothing to see in the immediate, on the ground immediately surrounding the Abbey today, but in the work in the early 20th century identified the foundations of a walled area attached to the southern side of the Abbey. So this map was produced at the time. The walled area measures about 22 metres east-west by 20 metres north-south, and it's been suggested this might comprise the remains of a medieval cloister. So I suppose the Abbey and the surrounding field really present themselves as an obvious target for geophysical survey, and the extent of our survey area is outlined in yellow. It measures about 4 hectares in size, so again quite a sizable area. But I suppose like at Kilmacduagh we undertook aerial survey. This work was conducted by Simon Dowling from, I think he lives in Enniscorthy. So he used an unmanned aerial vehicle, or he used a kite in this case, you can see here. So he had a relatively cheap GoPro digital camera attached to this kite. So a really cheap way of gaining aerial imagery. He then took quite a huge amount of images, stitched them together in particular software, and came up with this 3-dimensional model of the ground surface in the Ferns area. So it's quite a fantastic model, and it's highly accurate, and it's very useful then for us for interpreting the geophysics. And we can actually overlay the geophysics on this image, so we can get a 3-dimensional view of the landscape as well. So as regards the survey, I suppose it would come as no surprise then that we identified, before I get to the survey, we also undertook some laser scanning, as you can see both of St. Mary's Abbey here, and of a rough image, and then this fantastic image here of the coffin effigy inside the church. So again, we come to the survey. So again, a huge amount of detail, really quite a complex picture. I suppose, as I say, it's quite complex, but interpretation of these features suggests that we're looking at features associated with the early monastery, as well as with medieval and post-medieval settlement and agriculture. We also have these dark bands here. These are not archaeological, so these are bands of igneous or volcanic rock that extend the northwest southeast through the area. So they're natural rather than archaeological features, but because they're volcanic, they obviously formed in great heat, and therefore they're highly magnetic, so that's why we're picking them up. So this is the interpretation. Again, it's easier to see. So I suppose one of the most interesting features are we've identified part of the early monastic boundary. So it's the features labelled G1 and G2 here and here. Again, they're about 4 meters wide. They're defined by ditches, they're spaced 50 metres apart. So there the ditches transposed onto an area limit. This is the outline of the area limit monastic boundary, with everything else taken away. It's kind of difficult to know their exact size because we only have a small portion of them, but perhaps the inner one may be within, it's about 100 metres in diameter. It's very difficult to know. And it's also difficult to trace, to guess even where they would